just asked people to social distance 2 months ago when you're out here doing the exact opposite.
Literally running out of tests. Tests don't exist, so you can fly to LA and renegade with your besties.
I'm telling you guys, they never learn. They never learn. Hey guys, and welcome back to Spilt Blog. In today's video, let's talk about James Charles getting dragged by the entire TikTok community in under 24 hours. Yeah guys, I'm convinced these TikTokers are literally asking to get canceled at this point.
Now come on now.
So, I'm sure you guys have all seen the controversial TikTok James Charles has just posted over on his TikTok. And by controversial, I mean he even had to turn off the comments. On a serious note, you guys, this week James Charles decided to post a TikTok with Charli D'Amelio, Lorray, Noah Beck, Chase Hudson, and the entire D'Amelio family that got millions of people going off on him on not only his Twitter, TikTok, but even his Instagram. Did y'all really think influencers thinking they were immune to COVID was a joke?
No ma'am. No ma'am.
As you guys all know, the city of Los Angeles has just announced their second lockdown. And let's just say many people were infuriated with James Charles after making this TikTok where he was seen hanging out with the D'Amelios as well as multiple other TikTokers just to make some TikToks.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring.
Check, I think we got one.
Yeah.
It's right season, bro.
What the frick are you guys doing?
Anyways, I just want you guys to take a look at how harsh people were coming for not only James, Charli, and Lorray for making this pandemic even worse.
You guys don't know how exciting it is for me to see other people call out influencers for being so irresponsible during this pandemic. You guys getting together every other day is so unnecessary and only shows how disconnected from reality you guys really are.
Don't give a fuck at this point. If I get into some beef with an influencer because I be fucking commenting on their videos some fucking angry shit about them not wearing masks, not socially distancing during a pandemic every other day. Do you guys not understand? You want to cancel Jenna Marbles for some shit she did 10 years ago that she's apologized for and she has grown from, but y'all don't want to cancel these bitches who are having parties during a pandemic because they think their clout is more important, and they're in LA with no ICU beds. There's no ICU beds left. Are you kidding?
Do influencers not realize that COVID tests aren't unlimited? Like, the US is literally running out of testing supplies. You shouldn't be using the country's limited resource so you can make TikToks with your mutuals. Some people actually need those tests to go to work or college, or if they think they have the virus. Tests don't exist so you can fly to LA and renegade with your besties.
You guys, the worst part about this was that not only a day after this, James was actually seen traveling all over his social media. Oh my god. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I actually see why people are mad about this. Because if you guys remember, just this October, James Charles was out here flying back and forth to Hawaii.
What the fuck?
Anyways, if you guys thought James Charles wouldn't get dragged any harder, well, you're wrong. People actually started to notice that only a few months before all of this, James had actually made an apology on one of his YouTube videos for going out when the pandemic was at its worst. Hi sisters, I decided to cut the party footage from the video. Even though I have been wearing a mask in public and have tested negative multiple times, going to a party during a pandemic was a selfish and stupid decision. People's safety and keeping COVID-19 contained is far more important than celebrating a friend's birthday, and unsafe partying is not something I want to promote to my audience. I recognize that with my platform comes responsibility, and I encourage you guys to be smarter than I was. Wear your masks and continue to social distance. Yeah, make it make sense.
We all know that 2020 has been a really difficult year for families everywhere, and my own included. My dad is a self-employed contractor, which has made it working really hard during coronavirus, and my mom's job was also compromised as well.
James Charles gets to walk around with his friends making Mean Girls Christmas dance renditions while people lay on ventilators fighting for their life during a global pandemic. But because he's rich and famous, he gets away with it. At James Charles, shame on you. At James Charles, I'm glad you made millions this Christmas, but please take accountability for regularly inviting large groups into your home unmasked for videos and attending parties in a global pandemic. You have consistently shown an extreme lack of accountability for your influence. James Charles, please, I am begging you, stop hanging out with other TikTokers in a pandemic. I'm not from the US, but God, you consistently hanging out with others for YouTube videos is so unconsiderate. You have a platform. People look up to you. You are setting the wrong example. Hi, James. I'm somewhat of a fan of yours, but can you please stop hanging out with your friends and doing activities with large gatherings? I couldn't even say goodbye to my grandfather or have a big funeral due to the pandemic. James Charles turned off his comments because of how much he was getting called out for gathering in groups during the pandemic and using up testing kits for every time he wants to film stupid dances he can barely keep the rhythm to while trying to stick his ass out as much as possible. I have money, so I can do whatever I want during a global pandemic. I hope you guys get COVID, James Charles and Dixie D'Amelio and all their other little friends with no brains and no worries. James Charles being irresponsible yet again during COVID-19, inviting influencers to his house to record without masks during a global pandemic. In LA, where cases are up 1,000%. At James Charles, stop hanging out in groups during a pandemic. Jesus Christ! James Charles, what happened to the comments on your last TikTok? Upset people are calling you out for being selfish and irresponsible during a pandemic? Can you please stop going out and gathering in groups when we are in a pandemic? How are you gonna make a whole video when you are sick during a deadly pandemic? I'm sorry, but that is the dumbest thing you can do. So tone deaf and selfish of you to do that. James Charles really needs to shut the up. He complains about how the pandemic has caused issues. He's one of the reasons why the pandemic is still happening. There are loved ones dying alone in hospitals, but him and his other influencer friends have the audacity to party. Hey, you truly do inspire people, but that also means you have to be a good influence and stop going out with your friends during a pandemic, especially if you have a cold. Hi, James, can you please stop influencing thousands of little kids? It's okay to ignore the pandemic and hang out with multiple groups of people. It would be greatly appreciated.
But imagine how tired we are. Imagine how tired we are of it.
Alright, y'all, I want to know what you guys think about this entire situation. Do you guys think James is being irresponsible? And also, what do you guys think about him turning off the comments instead of addressing it? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love y'all so much, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.